card and that wasn't working. And so we'll see if YouTube Live works a little bit better for this stream. We'll see if anybody kind of shows up into the chat. But basically what I was trying to do was I just want to go through some new fragrances that I have. Not a lot. This won't be like a long live stream or anything like that, but just kind of wanted to touch on some new fragrances and sample a couple fragrances as well, just to kind of give some first impressions, things like that. So yeah, we'll see if anybody jumps in on this chat here before we get started. Let's see. All right. Yo, Ordan. All right. And let's see. Just trying to get a hold of this. Hey, Ordan, can you see and hear me? Fantastic. 英語は上手ですね。All right. You're the only one here. Kevin B. Okay. Kevin, hey buddy. All right, Joel, awesome. Is this stream a little bit better? I hope there's no delay or glitches or anything like that. Can you guys see and hear me okay? Tilt this up a little bit. Awesome. Oh, awesome. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right, Kevin and Joel, what do you guys Joel, you told me before you were in the Gorseland, right? Kevin, what's your sin of the day? And for me, I actually don't have a scent of the day on, so I'm probably going to put one of these fragrances on that I'm going to talk about today, but I'll be spraying them on, so I want to make sure my nose is good for sampling. But yeah, Kevin, what do you got on, man? What's your scent of the day today? But yeah, while we're waiting for just a few more people, so today I just want to talk about a few new fragrances. So one of those fragrances that I'll be talking about is thanks so much, Joey. I'm glad to have you here. Amorous Homme Extrait. Oh, nice, man. I have not tried that one, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah, so fragrance I'm going to be talking about today is, can you guys see this? Mantes la Jolie. I think I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of this one. Can you guys see that okay? But this one is by Astier de Villatte. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation there. But yeah, I'll be talking about this one. Another one I'll be talking about is from the House of Jorum studio. This is called Gorseland. It's also a recent pickup of mine today. And then when I had ordered from Lucky Scent recently, so they had sent me this little 5 ml sample from Ex Nihilo. This is Fleur Narcotique, the extrait version. So I don't know if you guys have smelled the extrait before, but this is the extrait version. So I've never smelled the original, so I don't even know what that's about. But I do know Quentin Biche perfumed this one, and I'm assuming, I know he perfumed the original, so I'm assuming he also perfumed the extrait. So I'm going to be trying this one. Have either of you guys tried the original or the extrait of this version yet? Yeah, I'd be really curious to hear you guys' thoughts. So yeah, we'll see. Put all these on skin and just give thoughts and opinions today just on these fragrances. So I think, these, I'll go ahead and, if you guys have never smelled this one, this is a lovely one. I'll go ahead and put this one on skin and just kind of describe to you guys what the vibe of this one. But man, I'm ordering soon a few 10 mils of different fragrances. Always cool to try new stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's something, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to get into, I do sample a lot. It's rare that I do any type of blind buying anymore these days. I do it from time to time, but it's rare. I mean, it's very, very rare. And I think, I've mentioned this on the channel before too. Like that's one mistake that I made when I first started on this journey was I was blind buying, and then I ended up building a collection that I didn't truly love. So I kind of had to get rid of a lot of fragrances and start over. And so now it's all about sampling. So yeah, sampling's the way to go for me. But if you're someone who enjoys blind buying, more power to you. Is that similar to Tilia at all? If you're gotten your nose on it, you know what? I've never smelled Tilia. That's by Marc Antoine Barrault, isn't it? I've never smelled that one, but Joel, have you smelled that one before? Tia, or have you smelled Fleur Narcotique? Either of those, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think isn't Tia also, isn't that like a tuberose? Doesn't have a lot of tuberose in it. I may be mistaken, but yeah, let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and throw on this one. So we'll go with Mantes Jolie. I'll go ahead and put this one on. So man, this one just smells so good from the atomizer. When I wore this one the other day, oh man, this one is perfect for spring and summer. Man, let's go ahead and put this one on. So I'll go ahead and spray this one here. 2 sprays of this. All right, man. So from the get-go, this is an extremely refreshing, kind of like green avalanche, not snow, but like if you think of like a green kind of herbal avalanche of like aromatic goodness, that's basically what you get here. You get a heavy blast of mint, and I think there's also some basil and like eucalyptus in here. But man, it's quite herbal, so it smells like you're in the garden. But it has a very fresh and cooling like quality to it. And even just like spraying this on my hand, it's like where I sprayed this on my hand, it feels cool. So like I feel like a fragrance like this, especially here in Japan, we have like nasty, humid summers here. So I feel like this one is just I'm going to burn through this one for sure. This one is just extremely, extremely refreshing. Man, but it is quite green and herbal. So if you're not like, I don't know, if you're not a fan of like those kind of green, especially like minty green fragrances, this may not be your cup of tea. But man, I love it. This kind of minty green style, and I'm a huge fan of green fragrances in general. But man, this one's a stunner. And yeah, I actually got this one from, I did order this one from Lucky Scent. And man, the reason I got turned on to this house was because I saw Sebastian, the perfume guy, talking about this fragrance. And I was really interested. And so, man, this one doesn't disappoint though. It's just so herbaceous and aromatic, but also very fresh. It's almost like you're in the garden and you scooped up a handful of like basil and mint, and you're just putting it in your face and smelling it. Man, just everything is very crisp and green and refreshing. Man, this is a stunner. Have either of you guys smelled anything from this house? This is a newer house to me, and this is the first fragrance that I've ever smelled from this house. And I think like this house, like originally they were doing like ceramics or something kind of like that, and then they decided to get their feet wet into fragrances. And so I know that they have a few other offerings from this house, I think there's like maybe 8 or 9 other fragrances that they do, but man, I think from a smell standpoint, from smell alone, this is this is a 9 for me, a 9. Um, man, so yeah, Joel says, "I rarely miss when I do, but I do lots of research first." Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, when kind of sampling, going through fragrances, I do a ton of research as well. So I always try to find notes that I never tried before, so I might dive into them, into fragrance. And one talks about, yeah, yeah, yeah. And what are some of your like favorite notes in perfumery, Joel? What are some of your favorites? As you too, Kevin, what kind of notes do you tend to gravitate towards in fragrance? Like mine are definitely like, I'm a huge fan of rose, galbanum. I love oak moss, um, coffee, vetiver, of course. Those are some of my loves for sure. How about you guys? What are you guys into? Um, Man, and I feel like the mint is done so well in here too. Like it's not mint it is a note that can come off, either very kind of unnatural and toothpastey, or it can like just be super well done and come off quite realistic. This doesn't come off toothpastey at all, and I think it's because it has that heavy dose of green nuance. So kind of like I said, it's almost like you've gone through your garden, picked a handful of mint, and you're putting it up to your face, and that's what it smells like. I mean, it smells, man, this one is so good. But what I will say about this fragrance is when I did wear this one this past week, and I've only given it a full wearing one time. Uh, I will say that the beauty of this fragrance was a bit short lived. Like, yeah, it project the projection was good for about the first hour. And I would say the longevity, I got maybe about like 4 hours out of it. But, after that first hour, it sat fairly close to the skin. So it wasn't pushing out, too much really. So I would say from a performance standpoint, it was, moderate at best. But that first hour, it was projecting off fairly nicely, I think, and it was leaving a nice sillage. I mean, I was catching whiffs of that within that first hour, and they were gorgeous. I enjoyed uh, the smells that I was getting from this as I was kind of wafting it off of my skin for that first hour for sure. But then it quickly, that projection quickly started to sit closer. So I mean, if you're looking for some kind of beast mode fragrance, it's definitely not it. But the smell alone of this one is gorgeous. I mean, I don't mind respraying this. I mean, I will take this with me and respray. And this is just a little 30 ml bottle, 30 ml. So we'll see how long it takes me to burn through this. But I think whenever I do wear this one, I'm just going to carry it with me and then just respray as I go. But you guys' experience might be different. You may get better performance than I do out of this, but the experience off my skin is just kind of the performance wise is just okay, but it is smell wise, it's amazing. So Joel says fruit, aquatics for summer, lavender for spring, spicy in the fall. Yeah, honey, vanilla, winter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely love fruit. Now, aquatics, that is blue fragrances are a genre of fragrances that I don't have hardly any experience with. And actually, I don't really have any like blue fragrances, to be honest, in my collection. I used to have like Bleu de Chanel, but I ended up getting rid of that. Not because I didn't like it. It's a gorgeous fragrance. It just kind of, I don't know, I kind of lost interest. No, wait, that's a lie. I do have Acquadigio Profumo. I do have that. And so I guess that's kind of like an aquatic, but I don't really reach for it. I mean, I haven't worn that one in years, but yeah, I mean, it's just a classic kind of aquatic style fragrance. So yeah, but yeah, Joel, do you have any aquatics that you recommend? Like not necessarily like your typical aquatics, but something that might kind of veer off the path of what you might consider a typical aquatic. Do you have any recommendations to where I could kind of get my feet wet a bit in that genre? Yeah, let me know, man. Put it in the chat. I'm definitely, you know, like I said, in Japan, humid summer, so kind of an aquatic fragrance would be kind of nice. I did try if this is considered an aquatic, like Octanese by Unique Luxury. Um and that one, that one is extremely strong, and it was kind of just kind of okay for me. Um but yeah, drop that in the chat. Oh, there you go. Maybe for Japan, Bois night. Yeah, Joel, that I think you had mentioned that Boys 1920. You were talking about this. I think you had mentioned something about this in somebody else's live, and yeah, um, citruses with a pinch of tea. That sounds lovely, man. I feel like I wish we could get that brand in Japan, and I can't. So I'm gonna have to search where I can kind of find um, this brand and see where I can kind of, see if I can score some samples for sure. Um, but yeah, you guys, if you haven't tried this fragrance, man, I highly recommend. Just from a smell standpoint, for me, this is a lovely one. Oh man, this is so good. I know how you say that it can be too loud. I know you say that it can be too loud. Yeah, yeah. Do you mean the that that Boy's 1920 Ultramare fragrance, or do you mean like that Octanese fragrance in terms of being too loud? Octanese is extremely loud. You will fill a room and everybody will smell you. Um, that is a crazy scent. No, no, in general. Yeah. Yeah, man. In Japan, it's like, I mean, you can wear loud fragrances, but and there are times where I do, but I'll wear those if I know I'm going to be outside and I'm not going to like be going to a restaurant or be riding on public transportation or anything like that. Um, yeah, I mean, you gotta be really careful with that. Yeah, beast mode fragrances just don't really have a place here in Japan. But you never know. That could change. I do feel like perfumery is definitely taking a different, or the way that Japanese people perceive fragrance is definitely taking a turn. Like the younger generation is definitely starting to get a bit more involved and into fragrances, I feel like. So yeah, we'll see. But as for now, yeah, you gotta kind of be a bit careful. People will run if your scent is too heavy. Um, Yo, Spence. Yeah, I'm doing a live, and I'm definitely not as good at this as you, man. That is for sure. I am very amateur at this, so I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, Demand Cologne, what's going on, my man? Thanks for dropping in. Like, yeah, man, I am just trying my hand at this live, and we will see. For those of you that just jumped in the chat, yeah, I'm talking about this fragrance right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's Mantes La Jolie by the house, and I'm probably butchering the name, by Astier de la Villatte. It's a house out of Paris, but it is kind of a minty, eucalyptusy, very herbaceous, aromatic fragrance. Man, super, super good. This is a 9 for me for sure. In terms of just smell alone, performance is just kind of mediocre, but in terms of the smell, it's amazing. Um, Man, beautiful one for sure. Um, but yeah, I'm going to jump into another chilling, my guy. That BDK Wood Jasmine is a nice, bro. Thanks for the recommendation on that. Yeah, Wood Jasmine is nice. Spence, what's your scent of the day today, man? Or I guess for you guys, and Demand Cologne too. What do you got? It must be nighttime for you guys, right? Or scent of the night, scent of the afternoon. What are you guys wearing today? What's your sense of the day today, or sense of the evening? I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, Joe, we'll see you in a bit. Yeah. What are you guys wearing today? So I am going to jump into a next recent pickup of mine. This is Gorseland by Jorum Studio. Ah, Bodacious, Demand Cologne, Bodacious. Is that by Bodacious? Why does this sound familiar? Who's that by? Is that Boudicca? Is that Boudicca fragrance? And hey, what's going on, my man? Six Moss, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. What's your scent of the day? And then Ormond Jane Cashmere by Spence. Okay. I've never smelled that one. Ormond Jane is a house that I need to dive into a bit deeper. I do have one fragrance. I have Mont Tabac Verano from them. And yeah, it's a lovely summery banger for me. I love wearing that one in the summer. Scent of the day, Fan Your Flames. Lovely one for sure. That is a classic. Hey, what's going on? DC Jameer. I don't know your real name, so sorry. I'm just calling your screen name here. Scent of the day is Sex and the Sea. Is that Sex and the Sea? Is that Lorenzo Pizzalia? That sounds like a Lorenzo Pizzalia name, if I'm not mistaken. Jim. Hey, buddy. Okay, thanks for telling me your name. Jim. All right. Oh, it's Francesca Bianchi. Oh, that's right. Okay, got it. Francesca Bianchi. And that is another house that I have never experienced yet. So I'm curious to try some fragrances from that house too. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, let's go ahead and put on Gorseland. Let's go ahead and we'll throw this one on the other hand here. So spray this here. 2 sprays. Man, okay. So I remember when I was testing this one in the store, the first thing that this fragrance reminded me of was, if you guys have ever smelled Wanderlust by Oman Luxury. Now, these two fragrances are not the same, but it gave me vibes of that. And I was thinking, man, this has to have fig in it. But actually, this fragrance doesn't have fig. So I was quite shocked to find that out. But this fragrance right here, Gorseland, has such a unique note listing. It's crazy. And at the time when I was smelling this in store, I had no idea. I didn't look up the notes or anything. But yeah, it kind of smells like fig, and it reminded me of Wanderlust by Oman Luxury. But no, I mean, but it goes off in a different direction for sure. Basically, this smells like a green, fruity, slightly floral fragrance. It's very, very juicy, rich. And it has like an underlying earthiness to it for sure. Yeah, the door behind me. Yeah, this is glass paneling. So yeah, it kind of slides here. All the doors in Japan, if you've never been in Japan, all the doors slide. So they don't kind of, like in the States, we're used to doors kind of opening like that. So in Japan, all the doors slide, with exception of like, in my house anyway, my bathroom door kind of opens like a Western style door. But all the rest of the other doors in the house kind of slide like that. It's typical kind of Japanese style. Let's see, the door behind. Yeah, looks good. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. Have you guys smelled anything? Not necessarily Gorseland, but have you guys smelled anything from the House of Jorum Studio? I think this is a house out of, I don't want to be lying to you guys. I think this is a house out of Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but I think it's out of Switzerland. And I've smelled a few other fragrances from that house, like Paradisi, and that's, man, a really, very kind of green, earthy, almost like soily style of fragrance. And I like that kind of vibe. I love like green, earthy scents. But this one also kind of, I mean, this one, obviously I was really drawn to this one because I like the fruity quality of this fragrance. Like I said, it's very plump, juicy. Scotland. Thanks, Jim, for that. Yes, they're out of Scotland. That's right. Scotland. I knew it started with an S. Um, but yeah, out of Scotland. But yeah, this fragrance also kind of has an aromatic quality to it. So it definitely pushes out and projects. And it does leave quite a nice sillage. And I think the majority of the Jorum studio fragrances are extraits. So this does wear quite heavy on my skin. And when I wore this the other day, I was catching wafts of this all throughout the day. So, I mean, I was getting really nice longevity out of this. I was getting about 8 hours or so. Um, but also in terms of like the note breakdown with this one, I'm gonna just kind of go through the notes with this one because man, it is such a unique kind of uh, note listing. It's crazy. Let me bring it up real quick so I can kind of talk about this. Um, so yeah, all right. And so this one has notes that I didn't even know existed in perfumery. So broom, I guess it's like a yellow floral, Bulgarian geranium, chamomile, pineapple weed, which is I don't have another fragrance in my collection that contains pineapple weed, crab apple, milk vetch, I have no idea what that is, astilbe, campion, have no idea what those are, elder flower, again, no idea, cannabis, gooseberry. And so that could also be like what's contributing to that fruitiness in here is that gooseberry, which I've never smelled gooseberry. So I'm not really sure if that's actually it. I wonder if it kind of gives off like a fig type of vibe. I'm not sure. Lemon, lavender absolute, neroli, and then woodruff. So, I mean, it really is a chock full of notes and man, very interesting note breakdown. So, you know, man, man, but this smells good. It smells good. Yeah, Jorum Studio, you guys, it's a, you know, this is a newer fragrance in my collection, but I can definitely recommend it, especially if you're looking for like, you know, niche fragrances that are kind of off the beaten path. Um, I would say this is definitely not for everybody, for sure. But if you're looking for unique fragrances that are off the beaten path, yeah, definitely check out that the House of Jorum Studio. I do think they have some very unique offerings that I'm definitely you know they're definitely on my radar and on the map. There are a few other fragrances that I want to try, and there's one fragrance by them called Spirit Cask. Actually, they don't carry that here in Japan, so I would have to order that one from online. But I've heard that one's kind of like a boozy fragrance, so I'm quite interested in that. So Jim, you said you blind bought one called Unspoken Gesture. So what's the vibe on that? What's the vibe on Unspoken Gesture? Unfortunately, they don't sell that one here in Japan. Well, I guess since it's new, they might end up carrying that one eventually. But yeah, man, Gorseland is really, really nice. Um, nice. Dry, almost like honey. Love broom. Oh, okay. So Spence. Okay, so you're saying that as an accord, it's dry, almost like honey. Interesting. So is it similar to like is broom? Because I know it looked like from Parfumo. So broom looks like a yellow floral. Is it so it since you gave it the reference to honey, it almost immediately makes me think like mimosa because mimosa is also a yellow floral and it can kind of mimic honey in the sense and it kind of gives off like a when it's used in perfumery it mimics honey but also kind of gives off a slight powdery vibe. Is broom basically like that? I don't know, it kind of makes me yeah, in that family. Yeah, I would assume so. um do you have Spence, do you have any other fragrances that contain that note of broom? And if so, like what are they? So rock man, I'm having problems pronouncing your name, my friend. Racustritred. So you have Spirit Cask and Jubilation 40. Oh, does Jubilation 40 have broom? Racustritred. Thank you for that breakdown, my friend. All right. Cool. Yeah. Nice, nice. Okay. So Jubilation 40, does that have Jubilation is heavy on the broom? Really? See, I've never smelled Jubilation 40. Never smelled that. That's definitely one I want to get my nose on. And I've never smelled Jubilation 25 either. So yeah, I'm kind of not in the game there. Um, but yeah, man, but yeah, this Gorseland one is definitely one for me. If you like those kind of fruity, slightly floral, green, earthy style of fragrances, then you'll definitely like this one. Yes, Atelier Atelier des Ors, Musk Immortel. I've never smelled that one. I have a few from Atelier des Ors, and I definitely like that house for sure. But I've never smelled the Musk Immortel that you mentioned. Um, Joel, welcome back, my man. Cool. So yeah, this is a good one for sure. So both of these are stunners. Really, really good. Now, I would say, I mean, this one longevity performance is definitely much better than this. Whoa. This one, yeah, this one, while you still have that, still you have that heavy kind of minty herbal green presence. It's already starting to kind of slowly start to sit closer to the skin. So, I mean, it's unfortunate because this one smells so darn good. It's a beautiful one. Man, so darn good. But again, this is one that I'm just going to keep in my bag whenever I do decide to wear it, and I'm just going to respray it so I can see myself burning through this 30 mil extremely quickly. Um, but yeah, so yeah, let's go on to I don't. So we're gonna go on to. I received this 5 ml sample of Ex Nihilo Fleur Narcotique, the extrait. I received this free from Lucky Scent when I had um, made a purchase from them. So I've never smelled this fragrance. I did spray this one. That's a lie. I have smelled this one in the air. I've never tested this one on skin. Duck 2, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the chat. Um, so yeah, I've never smelled this one on skin. So we're gonna try this one out. And I've never smelled the original, so I don't even know what to expect really. One thing that I do know was this one was perfumed by Quinton Biche. So yeah, I'm curious to try this one on skin. So we'll see. Duck 2, man, what is your fragrance of the day, my friend? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? So yeah, let's go ahead and put this one on skin. I think I'm going to put this one on my, I'm going to put this one here on my left arm. I don't have anything else here. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's get this one. 2 sprays. Mm. Okay. Mm. Man, this Gorseland is really kicking off hard. So maybe it was a bad idea to test all 3 of these fragrances at one time. So my perception might be a little bit skewed. So we'll see. Okay, so this seems like a very floral fragrance to me. Um, hmm, maybe even a bit fruity in a way. And I feel like this kind of I feel like this one pushes a little feminine, but not to say that I don't wear, unisex pushing feminine fragrances. I have plenty of those in my collection. Hmm. Man, I feel like I need to put on another spray though, because that Gorseland that is really pushing off. So I feel like my perception is a bit skewed here. Hmm. Man, I don't know what to think about this one, to be honest. Hmm. Have any of you guys, Jim, what are your thoughts on this one? You said you smelled this before. Top notes are lychee, osmanthus, bergamot. Middle notes are peony, orange blossom, jasmine. Base notes musk, sandalwood, moss. Thanks, Spence, for that. I feel like I'm definitely getting like a floral-like presence, but not off my skin. I'm not really getting citruses really at all, but it does kind of have like a musky vibe to it. There's no doubt about that. Hmm. This one is, I don't know what to think about this. I think this is one that I think I need to spend. Number one, let me say this. I think I'm going to need to resample this one when I haven't sprayed other fragrances on myself, because the right now the Gorseland fragrance is dominating this whole space. It is really kind of pushing off demand. We'll let Curtis have a few more lives before. Yeah, yeah. This is a first Matrix. We need to fix that. Matrix. Oh, and first Matrix. Yeah, sorry guys, go easy on me here. This is a first live, and I'm doing it on YouTube live stream. I think Japan is too civilized for moderators. Man, but I hope you guys can see and hear me okay, and I hope it's not kind of stalling out. I used StreamYard before, and Joel was in the chat then, and it was just kind of very choppy. The camera was going in and out. It seemed like my connection wasn't, real strong. So yeah, I switched to YouTube Live. Thank you, Spence. I'm glad to hear that things seem to be fairly smooth. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of Fleur Narcotique. I think I need to give it a fair shot. I think I need to resample this one when I haven't sprayed other fragrances on. The Jorum Studio one, the Gorseland, is too strong. It has this whole kind of space. Matrix is missing his wrench. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do this moderator thing. Yeah, again, go easy on me, guys. Yeah, I'll have to figure this one out. But yeah, this whole, I think Spence is the pro at this, and Joel is a pro at like these lives, at least participating in them. And Spence is, man, lives is like so professionally done, man. I feel so basic, man, compared to your setup and the way that you do the things, man. You definitely have a stellar setup, and your production quality is on point, my man. Yeah, some good stuff there for sure. And again, too, it's like this is a bit kind of, I don't know. I feel like if you see legs, there's a troll. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for the legs. But yeah, I don't know. I think being able to manage kind of like what I'm, talking about live here in the camera, and then managing the chat, is something that, hopefully I'll get better at with time. So yeah, we'll see. And I don't know, man. I had for Spence, like for you, since you do like a lot of lives, like how do you feel like, Sally, what's good, my man? Do you feel like, you know, are lives something that you enjoy, or do you prefer kind of like making just normal videos? It's nice to kind of interact with people live. But I feel like, people like Charm City, or like, like Sally too, or Tazo, like you Spence, yourself, you guys are really good at kind of managing the balance of, managing the chat, putting out information that you need to, and chatting with everyone. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. At least that's the way that I feel right now. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing here. So sorry. I know this first one's probably pretty rough. But yeah, thanks for hanging in there, everybody. But yeah, Selly, if you just coming through, man, We had talked about this fragrance here, Mantes La Jolie. It's just a very minty, herbaceous kind of herbal fragrance, really lovely one. And then we also talked about Gorseland from Jorum Studio. Heavy, heavy. This one, really enjoy that one. It's kind of like a fruity, slightly floral. It's like a chock full of notes, interesting notes for sure. Angel, what's going on, my man? Yeah, I agree. And again, I feel like I'm kind of just jumping all over the place and not like people who are good at this can make for a very fluid kind of chat. Like they know where they're going. Um, I feel like I don't know where I'm going. I should be following down this road and I'm going down this road and this road and this road and jumping back to this road. And you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I feel like it's going to be a work in progress and kind of, as hopefully I improve and as I get better with doing these lives, then, maybe, uh, you know, more and more people will be, interested in joining the chats. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I'll try to be a bit patient with myself. But yeah, I think in terms of this Fleur Narcotique, the extrait, I'll definitely resample this one again. Like I said, the Jorum studio is this Gorseland one is just filled up this whole room. So I can't really smell anything else than this fragrance right here. But yo, Live Curtis, just roll with the flow. You're doing great. I appreciate it, Doug. Thank you, my friend. So yeah, just to kind of touch base with you guys too, man. What have been some of your recent purchases? Like, what are you guys into at the moment? Um, I've been really trying to explore like new houses, and I'm really interested to find houses that not a whole lot of people are talking about. Um, and so yeah, like I've been exploring houses that are here in Asia, like from Hong Kong or from Thailand or Korea. And so yeah, there's one house that I found recently called Toba. They're a house out of Hong Kong, and they have some stunners in terms of they're an indie niche house. Have some really interesting perfumes. And I have bought one from that house, and actually I have a sample that I was given. I may go and get it too. I may go and grab it. It's upstairs. I'll have to go and grab that one. Or maybe I might save that from another live. Rock Selly. Honestly, I've been drawing a blank. I'm looking for new things to dive into. Yeah. Rock Custard. I've been buying Maxime more a Rege and a new one. Yeah, Maxime perfume. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that house, man. Huge fan of Maxime perfume. Stunning work. Probably, man, that fragrance house is on the come up, and that's definitely one of my favorite fragrance brands for sure. Man, amazing work that fragrance house for sure. Spence says I bounce around from house to house like someone's stepdaddy. Yeah. What else are you guys? Angel says Bertrand Duchefort's brand. Just don't try Dawn Whispers. Yeah, I'm not familiar with El Entropiste. I'm not sure. I haven't. I'll have to look that one up. Let me write this one down. I have a pen and paper here, so I'm going to jot this one down to check that one out. Yeah, man. Rock Custard Cafe Mystique is a really lovely one. My favorite oud fragrance is from Maxime Perfume. It's Oud Indochine. Stunning oud fragrance. It's what's interesting about that one too is it doesn't have tobacco listed in the notes, but it gives me kind of a tobacco-y like vibe in the air. So man, it is stunning. And the oud in there is extremely pleasant. It's a spicy fragrance that's very nicely rounded out by some beeswax and vanilla. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely fragrance, and it has like a smokiness to it as well that I really, really enjoy. Man, yeah, Maxine perfume, dude. Oud Indochine, Vanilla Oud, um, Cafe Mystique, and Chypre de Grande. Those are the four that I have from that house. And being transparent with you guys, Maxine Perfume did gift me those fragrances. But you know, what I can say is, man, stunners, all those. And I think this is one thing too. Um, you know, and I don't know about maybe some of you guys, like maybe Demand Cologne or Selly, or some of it, or Spence, some of you guys that are on YouTube and putting out videos. I mean, maybe you guys could speak to that as well. Like for me, I think there's been quite a few. My channel in general is I mainly cater towards niche perfumery. I might feature a designer here or there, like maybe a fragrance from like Hermes. But I mainly cater towards niche perfumery. And so, I'm looking to be taken on a journey. Not that designer fragrances can't do that. They definitely can. But I think in terms of where I am in my fragrance journey, you know, I'm looking to go places. And so for me, what kind of gets me going, I'm not looking for fragrances that are necessarily built for the mainstream. I'm looking to be intrigued. And so that's why kind of my channel is mainly geared towards niche perfumery. But what I wanted to kind of say with like, brands kind of reaching out, there have been quite a few brands that have reached out to me, but there's only been one brand that I have said, okay, yeah, yeah. In terms of not working together, but in terms of sending a fragrance to, like, so there's been quite a few brands that have reached out and said, oh, hey, can we send you this? And so I'll research the brand online. And if it looks interesting, the majority of them have not. There's only been one brand that has ever looked interesting to me, and that's Maxine Perfume. So I said, yeah, send it on over. And the one thing that I love about Maxine Perfume, there was never any expectation to do any kind of review or anything. They're just like, oh, hey, yeah, here you go. That's it. Nothing. And so they do things the right way. I mean, I have nothing but positive kind of vibes and kind of good things to say about that house. Their perfumery is awesome. They are, they produce quality, and there are no expectations. That's it. So yeah, they're a stunning house for sure. Angel says, I'm enjoying clean scents, and that has drawn me to your channel since Japanese culture is so particular about scents. Yeah, man, they Japanese culture. Yeah, you definitely. There's no place for beast mode scents. I do wear beast mode fragrances here occasionally, but like I was saying earlier, like if I'm going to be outside and I'm not going to be on public transportation or anything like that, then I'll wear beast mode fragrance. But yeah, it's difficult, man. And people will run, they will scatter, and they get easily offended by very heavy fragrances. They're all about light, kind of airy. Anything with citruses or florals tend to work fairly well, in musk. Those types of fragrances work fairly well here. Duck 2, I stumbled across a great rose called Moresque Parfums, Rand Rose. I haven't tried anything from Moresque parfums before. So yeah, thanks for mentioning it. I will write this one down. Moresque Parfums, Rand Rose. All right. Rock Custard, gifting doesn't bother me at all. The truth of statements is based upon whether one is deemed truthful. The creators I follow, I believe. Doesn't mean I like what you like. Absolutely. Means I believe. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not all going to like the same thing. I mean, it's a subjective game. And that's one of the beautiful things about fragrance, right? We all have different opinions and, different vibes. And there's no one wrong and there's no one, right. It's just that we all have different opinions, and that's the way it is. And that's the beautiful thing about this. Joel says to Doug 12, Maresque brand is fire. Man, okay. Soul Batik. That's the one I've heard about. Soul Batik. Maybe it was you talking about that one time, Joel. I think or maybe Charm. Maybe Charm was talking about that. I'm not sure. All right, Demand. Sounds amazing, Curtis. Man, it is. I'm telling you, man. Maxine Perfume. Those guys do it. Spence. Nice, Chris. I've not been reached out to by anyone. Then again, I don't even have an email on my channel or anything. Never got a bottle or anything like that. Yeah. Angel. Yes, I never understood why Gaiac 10 was so light wearing until you elaborate on Japanese culture. Then it made sense. Yeah. I would say too, not just Gaiac 10, but I feel like there's I feel like recent releases from Le Labo, and I don't think they're catering necessarily towards Gaiac 10, obviously is a Tokyo made fragrance. So maybe there was some thought process in terms of how they wanted that fragrance to be portrayed to the public, and I guess work with the Japanese kind of aesthetic. But I've also noticed like recent Le Labo releases have been a bit light. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes we do want a bit of a heavier fragrance. But yeah. Duck 12, Curtis, yes, sir. Amazing. Great for warmer weather. All right, man. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Sally says, have you tried anything from the brand Reinvented? No, and I've never heard anything from that brand. Where's that brand from? Is that a brand out of France? Where is that brand from? Angel says, Andrea Mac fragrances are transportive, craft in particular. Yes, I have smelled craft. And another one I like from that house too is Coven. I do really enjoy Coven as well. Man, that's a nice one for sure. Joel says, I'm jumping into some 5-10 mils of Oman Luxury and Nacartica soon. Joel, Oman Luxury. Jim, take care, my man. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Joel, one that I love from the House of Oman Luxury is Royal Incense. That one is so good. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. And actually, I included that in a video that I'll be releasing tomorrow. 10 out of 10 fragrances in my collection. But yeah, that one, dude. Incense too is one of those notes for me that's been difficult for me to kind of become accustomed to in perfumery, because I feel like it comes off quite cold. But with Royal Incense, the contrast between those cold incense notes and the ambery notes, they have some ambery notes in there that really help to warm up that fragrance. And there's a heavy blast of geranium, but off my skin, that geranium is pushing really rosy, and I love rose. So that combination of that rose, that incense, and those ambery notes is just a match made in heaven. And not to mention performance on that one, phenomenal. So man, Royal Incense is a 10 out of 10 for me. Love that fragrance. Love it. Man. Have you guys tried anything from Oman Luxury before? Yeah, Demand Cologne also saying Oman Luxury is good. Yes. Selly says, I'm not exactly sure the origins of the brand, but I've been seeing them around more and more. Okay, I'll have to keep my eye out for that one and see kind of how they are. 10 out of 10 in your collection. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Spence. Yeah. Yeah, it really is a 10 out of 10, man. You guys should definitely check out that fragrance if you haven't. But that's the only fragrance I've tried from, that's a lie. I've tried Wanderlust from Oman Luxury. And I know that they released a few different versions of Wanderlust. And I've heard like the 2023 version of Wanderlust is pretty good, but I haven't been able to sample that one yet. Curtis, you should try Aqualis. Aqualis? I own 2 fragrances from them, Brenton and Canvas. I'm not even familiar with that house, so let me write this down, man. I have my pen and paper here. Aqualis. I will try that. I'll give them a search and kind of see what they have to offer. Brenton and Canvas. Amazing Iris. Okay. All right. I'll definitely check them out. Yeah, what Sally says, I've been slacking. I was supposed to try Oman Luxury. Man, you really should. You really should. And I know that like on like Max Aroma, you can get Oman Luxury. And I know they also have a sample set. Man, try to score yourself a sample set. I'm gonna try to get a sample set too. Um, I'd really love to sample the rest of that house for sure. Yeah, their bottles. Ben says he loves their bottles. Their bottles are super classy. Magnetic caps, really nice, man, for sure. Angel Morales, I think you would enjoy Papier Carbone and Toy Extrait from Ormeau. Man, yeah, man, I'll have to search for that house and give it a sample for sure. Rock Custard, they just appeared in my local store. Interesting stuff. I've tried Wanderlust. Joel makes this. Anyone tried Oman Luxury Voyage? Joel says, anyone tried Oman Luxury Voyage? That's the one I want. It as a bit of royal incense in it. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. So I wonder if Voyage. Let's look up the notes real quick. I'm gonna look up the notes to this real quick. Voyage from Oman Luxury. Let's see what luxury Voyage. All right. Let's see. All right. Voyage. Where is it? Voyage. Okay. Wow. I know it looks like based off the picture here, it looks like the juice color is definitely similar. Okay. So it has, yeah, the note breakdown does look quite similar. Interestingly, it has fragrances, it has geranium and rose in it. Frankincense, labdanum, bergamot, ginger in the top, pink pepper. Wow, interesting. That one does look promising, Joel. I'm curious as to what this one is going to smell like. All right, let's see. They just appear. Okay, cool. Let's see. Demand. I'm going to stay on, but I will be on the phone with the wife, so I'll be quiet. All right, enjoy your conversation with the wife, my man. Cool. Yeah, but Oman Luxury, I think, man, that is a house that I'm going to do a deep dive into for sure. All right, Rock Custard, I appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Got to head to Chicago in the AM. All right, man, have safe travels to Chicago. Good night, bud. Yeah, Oman Luxury. Got to seriously dive into that house. And I want to give you guys, I think if you guys have watched any of my videos, like especially videos catered to Rose, and Selly knows this, my favorite Rose fragrance is Rose de Taif by Paris Monte Carlo, the extrait, not the EDP, but the extrait. And since we were talking about Oman Luxury, if you layer royal incense with Rose de Taif extrait, that is just an intoxicatingly good combination. What I do is I put the Oman Luxury down first, and then I layer the Paris Monte Carlo extrait on top, and it just boosts the presence of rose. Oh man, it is so good. It is so good. Man, you guys should try that layering combo if you have either of those two fragrances. Lovely. Angel says the House of Beau had been getting a lot of hype. I don't think Espiritu, Casablanca, and Oro Verde are worth it. The hype. I've never tried anything from the House of Beau, but I have seen a few reviewers talking about that house. Joel says, if I remember right, I think Oman Luxury Voyage has a rose called Rock Rose in it. Oh, I didn't know that. Rock Rose, and I'm not familiar with that, to be honest. You said I do believe they are worth the hype. Okay, cool. Nice. I have heard some people talking about that house, but yeah, I'm not familiar with them. So yeah, I'll definitely have to check them out. Yeah, you guys. So it looks like I've been going for about an hour here. So it looks like maybe it's time to cut off. You know, I don't want to bore you guys to death, but I appreciate all you guys stopping by and showing some love. Yeah, sorry if this first one was a bit rough, but I appreciate you guys stopping by and just kind of, again, yeah, just kind of showing love. I appreciate it. You know, I think one thing too, like, you know, when I started YouTube, I never thought that, you know, I could build and build relationships like this through the internet and just find like-minded people who really shared a love for fragrances. So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys, all you guys. Yeah, it's a pleasure. It really is. Thank you guys for the support. And yeah, you know, and one thing too is, man, you guys have given me so many good recommendations for fragrances that, yeah, that I think that's one of the awesome things that I would never be able to experience or hear about. I hear about because of this channel. So yeah, I just want to big thumbs up to you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. So I appreciate you guys. Just final words, man. This is a solid fragrance for sure. Definitely check it out if you can get a sample of it. And this is another stunner from Jorum Studio. I really, really enjoy this one. The Fleur Narcotique, the EDP, I'll have to come back to around to that one again. But yeah, I'll give that one. I'll spend a bit more time with that one. But thank you guys. Take care. Have a good evening to those of you guys in the States. Take care, everybody. Thank you.